It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? The Geno Jones Show. I know. You figured it out. You're like, hey, dude, we can see. We can read, right? So I'm coming to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, live. So shout out to everybody watching me live right now, 6:30 p.m. in the Carolinas, Charleston, South Carolina, metro area. Maybe in Chicago, it's 5:30. Out in Los Angeles, it is 3:30. Please subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. You don't want to miss it. Must see TV. So today is election day. You got the special election for the United States Senate seat, one of the seats in Georgia. The word incumbent means he is the person that is currently sitting in the seat. He is Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock, brilliant brother, against Herschel Walker, a buffoon, a self-described, he calls himself a coon. Oh, well, you know, a coon is a very smart animal. It's the smartest animal in the blood. Georgia, please send Herschel Walker home. Send his ass back to Texas or wherever he's from or whatever hole he dug himself or climbed out of with Orange Hitler. Please send Herschel home. Out of here. Get rid of his ass. Make it happen today. So as a matter of fact, you got about 28 minutes left. So anybody in Georgia that's watching me, you have time to get in line. If you are in line by 7 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. That's the law. Full stop. Get in line anywhere in Georgia, registered voter by 7 o'clock. When the clock strikes 7 o'clock and you are in line, you stay in that line until you vote, and they got to let you vote. All right? Don't let anybody tell you anything else, because if they do, they're a liar. They're lying. The truth ain't in them. Just plain and simple. All right. So if you are a Jill Scott fan like I am, and I am a huge Jill Scott fan, so much. All right, real quick story. I am so much of a Jill Scott fan. So back in 2000, Jill Scott's album came out. It's called Who is Jill Scott? I was like, who is Jill Scott? This sister's bad. She went on tour. She went to Nashville, Tennessee. So I was doing a radio show in Memphis, Tennessee. That's roughly, about 100, just under 200 miles apart. Somewhere like that. I don't know. It's just under 200. Let's put it that way. In that range, maybe, 180, something like that. So I'm excited. I'm in my car. I got a Porsche, so I'm like flying. I'm on I-40, the interstate. I am flying. So it's me and somebody else, another car. I don't know. So we just, it's like we're like NASCAR. We're like on the Daytona Speedway or the Indianapolis 500. I'm flying. Cop pulls both. I don't know, how did he pull both of us over? That was bold. He literally pulled both. I guess nobody want to go to jail for like evading a police officer. This one cop pulled both of us over. So I get this ticket. I think it was like $190. But the guy, it was cool. Actually, I'll never forget. It was I think a black state trooper. And he's like, where are you going? I said, hey, man, listen, I didn't know I was going this fast. I'm excited. This sister, I'm going to see Jill Scott. So I got the ticket. I'll never forget. It was like a $190 ticket. I had never been so cool at getting $100. As a matter of fact, it's the only time I ever got a ticket that was $190. And I paid it. Went online, paid it, got my receipt. Boom. I don't know, a couple of weeks later, he gave me the ticket. I just kept going. But, man, it was worth it. Jill Scott was phenomenal. So if you've never seen Jill Scott, you got to check Jill Scott out. So that was her debut album, way back in 2000, 23 years later, she's going on tour to celebrate the release of that debut album. Who is Jill Scott? And I think we all know who Jill Scott is now. So this tour was supposed to happen in 2003 to mark like the 20th year anniversary of the release of that album. But COVID-19 shut it down. She was like, man, COVID-19 just shut it down. I was mad. But she's doing it now. So far, she's only got 18 cities on the tour. It's going to start off February 28th of 2023. So next year, which is, what, about 4 weeks away? Literally, next year is like 4 weeks away. Today is, what, the 6th? So you got, what, 25 days. I think something like that. We'll see. Okay, yeah, because you got 19 days. Yeah, I'm right. My math is good. Got 19 days until Christmas, and we got 25 days. It's 25 days until the new year. So anyway, February 28th in Augusta. She got like New Jersey, but she didn't have New York City yet. Chicago's not on there. Charleston's not on there, but Columbia. But anyway, I got a feeling that Miss Jill Scott, because she's been here before. Jill is phenomenal. So I got a feeling she's going to be adding some more dates to that tour. We'll keep you posted. You know, you can check out Jill on all of her social media platforms. Do that. All right, Scorpios. Let me shout my Scorpios out. Happy birthday, comedian Donnell Rawlings. So you've seen this brother. Funny brother, first of all. Donnell, you've seen him back in the day on the Chappelle show. Dave Chappelle show that was on cable. What was that on? Comedy Central, I believe. Man, that show was, that was one of the funniest shows that I had ever seen on TV. Because Dave just did not give a damn. The character Clayton Bixby, the blind black Ku Klux Klan dude in the episode, when he found out, he realized that he was like the most racist dude. And, you know, he had been walking around with the sheet on, and then when all of a sudden he was at this rally, and then he took it off, and then at this big Klan rally, this dude they thought was like this great racist Klan leader was a black dude. They was like, he's like they had to sneeze. He's on. So, and also, if you are a fan of the TV show, used to be on HBO, The Wire, Donnell Rawlings celebrating a birthday. I do believe, I got to step over here, 54 today. I just had to, because somebody, my cue card, they got it twisted. So, I'm also a fan, I'm a huge fan of the movie Friday After Next. So, if you remember Friday After Next, my man, of course, you know, you had Day Day, you had Mike Epps, of course, you had Ice Cube, and then you had Lil Money Mike, a.k.a. Cat Williams. So Cat Williams had his clothing store over there in South Central LA, the Crenshaw area, and like this was his girlfriend, and she worked at the store, a little cutie pie. Her real name is K.D. Albert. The K is Karen. So she was Donna, sister that played Donna, that Ice Cube and Mike Epps was trying to step to, and that was Lil Money Mike's little sawed-off mini-me Project Pimp, his girlfriend. She was also in the movie The Scorpion King. I didn't see it. Of course, you do. The Rock is in there. So all you Rock fans, I'm sure you saw that. She is 44 today. NBA superstar, one of the greatest players on the planet. NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks, who my man Anthony Davis gave him that work. He gave him that south side of Chicago work. Put that business on him, blocked his shot. He was like, well, we not going to do. You embarrassed my ass last year. But Geno he been yelling and screaming and saying he disappointed at me, and like, dude, you AD, damn it. Can't nobody stop you. You repping the south side of Chicago. I know you live out there in LA, out there in the fancy neighborhood with the big old $1 million house. But dude, you from the south side of Chicago. Don't you ever forget it, Anthony Davis. And he gave Giannis that work. But Giannis is still a hell of a player. Giannis Antetokounmpo from Greece. They call him the Greek Freak by way of Nigeria. So he's actually Nigerian. His family immigrated to Greece. Giannis Antetokounmpo is 28 today. Man, Giannis is 28? Wow. Man, that time flies, doesn't it? Speaking of sports, so let me do this. Let me do this. I'm going to wrap up the show today. Because a lot of people have been asking me about Deion Sanders. Hall of Famer, one of the greatest football players, really one of the greatest athletes of the 20th century. Really was. Played pro baseball and pro football. As a matter of fact, Hall of Famer, maybe the greatest cornerback ever. One of the only people I could put in that category, Rod Woodson. Used to play with the Steelers as a cornerback. Then he went on to play safety with the Raiders and the Ravens. And my man Darrell Green, he used to play with the Washington, now the Commanders. You know, it was the Washington football team. They used to have that racist mascot name. Very racist to Native Americans. But anyway, Deion Sanders, so he won 2 Super Bowls, one with my San Francisco 49ers. Then he turned traitor, turned coat, turned tail, and went to the enemy, the Dallas Cowboys, won a Super Bowl there. Then he played with the Ravens. So he had been coaching football. He was coaching like youth football, high school. Then he went to Jackson State. Last 3 years, turned Jackson State around. This year, undefeated. They got a championship game in about a week or so. He accepted a job at the University of Colorado. Now, the University of Colorado hadn't been good in about 2 decades. Matter of fact, they were like 1 and 12 this year. Something crazy. So, now Deion was making that, this year I think he made about $375,000. Jackson State is an HBCU. Now, when Deion took this job, he said God brought him to Jackson State. So this was Deion saying this. This wasn't anybody else. Deion said, look, God brought me to Jackson State to do this job, blah, blah, blah. He did turn the program around. So he's been taking a lot of heat, as you can imagine, the Jackson State alumni. Listen, many people, look, I'm a huge Deion fan. As an athlete, I love the brother. I never met him personally. He's been through a lot. He had a couple toes amputated, almost lost a foot. I think almost lost a leg. He had some type of, I believe, infection. And it bothered him for a while. And he was dealing with this, and he was coaching, still head coaching. Now, in Jackson, Mississippi, you've been having issues with their water system for years, like decades. Really, you've got just a really racist government, state government. Jackson is a predominantly black city. I think 70-80% of Jackson, the city of Jackson, is black. I think because it's only about I think Jackson's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours south of Memphis, Tennessee, and I worked in Memphis. Never actually made it to Jackson. I think I drove through Jackson one time. But so Deion took this job as the head coach of the University of Colorado. After saying that God brought him to Jackson State, he helped really shine a brighter light on all the HBCUs, all the historically black colleges and universities. And listen, there's a lot I could say. I do not begrudge. I'm not mad at Deion. I didn't go to an HBCU. I have experienced HBCUs. I love them. Had I known about them when I was in high school, there's a good chance I would have went to an HBCU. You know, I always wanted to do, when I was 10, I know I wanted to be on camera, be on the radio, and be on TV, or play pro sports. It's a whole nother story. Had a chance, played semi-pro football, had a chance to go and get in a minor league farm system, but I really wanted to entertain people, like on the radio and on camera, like I'm doing now. So, but I'm saying all that to say, so I know a little bit about sports, actually more than a little bit. I'm just trying to be modest. Deion, no doubt, one of the greatest football players, one of the greatest athletes ever, has done an incredible job down at Jackson State, and everybody is people are proud. I'm happy and proud of the job that he did as a head coach, the inspiration to these young men. Now, Deion is the one that said that God brought him to Jackson State. So I haven't heard him say that God brought him to Boulder, Colorado. I know his salary has increased like times 15 from a base. He was getting like about 375. So roughly, I think he started off about 300,000. Anyway, he's going to get 5.5 million. Now, a lot of that's going to be from doing TV shows and appearances and speaking engagements and meeting with they call boosters. Those are like usually either alumni or people who are just big fans of the team and the school and the university, and they write these really big checks. So that's all a part of being a college head coach. So all of that, so he's going to get paid. I think his base salary this year as a head coach is only $500,000. Now you can say, well, damn, man, he was getting $375. That's not that much of a raise, but with all the other, radio, TV shows, speaking engagements, all the other stuff, it's going to add up. Now here's the funny part. So the head of like the university, the people that run the program, the athletic director is like, we don't have the money to cover his salary yet, but we gonna get it. I don't know, Deion, that's a red flag, bro. At least your checks weren't bouncing at Jackson State, but they done told you up front, we don't have the money to cover his salary yet, but we gonna get it. Good luck with that, partner. But I understand. Listen, Deion is a salesman. Like his personality, his swag, his swagger, his confidence, some people call it arrogance or whatever. Deion is a salesman. He's a great athlete and a salesman. He always has been. That's who he is. That's always who he's going to be. And at the end of the day, Deion was always going to do what's best for Deion. Because what Deion really wanted to be is the head coach of Florida State University. That's where he played football. He was an All-American, one of the great college football players ever in his home state. He's from Florida. And his dream is, I guarantee you, if Florida State was to say, hey, look, we're going to pay off, we got a coach, but we're going to write him a check, and we want to hire you, Deion, he would cut tail. He would be on a plane heading to Florida so fast, it would make your head spin. And out of his own pocket, he would cut Colorado a check and be like, yeah, okay, you know what? Here's some, give me your routing number. I'm just going to wire you the money for your trouble. Give you your money back plus interest. I'm out of here. I'm going to Florida State University. Because that's where he wants to coach. And that's what this is leading up to. Jackson State University gave him a chance to prove himself as a head coach. Because Deion is the kind of dude, he really don't want to work for nobody. It's like he got to be the boss. And, hey, look, know who you are. And I'm good with that. If that's who you are, then be true to yourself. Never live anyone else's dream. Be true to you. So, but a lot of, even college programs, they were not going to hire Deion because, and they use this excuse because they hire people who never had head coaching experience. But, when you're black, it's always a different set of rules. Well, you don't have head coaching experience, even though you are Deion Sanders, you might not be a good coach. So he went to Jackson State. They gave him an opportunity, and he made the best of it, turned the program. 3 years, they only lost a total of 5 games. He lost in the championship game last year. They're playing in the championship game again this year. They went undefeated in the regular season. So Deion, he did his job. A lot of excitement around Jackson State University. Now, there's been a lot of criticism. It hadn't really helped all the other HBCUs. So I would have liked, it would have been great for me personally if Deion, because I'm convinced, like I said, I haven't talked to Deion. I never met him. I don't know him personally. But I've been watching this dude for a while. But what would have been ideal is if, since in my heart, I believe that Deion knew what he eventually wanted to do. Yeah, I mean, he's been very open. Trust me, if Florida State University, a major football power and a major university, if he got the opportunity to coach at his alma mater, he would do it. So this is another stepping stone, this job in Colorado. I guarantee you. Or maybe eventually coaching in the NFL. And that might be his goal, but I know he would love to coach. He loves working with young people. I had to give him credit for that. So I know he would love to coach, like I said, at the school that helped him. Where he really became, the world was introduced to Deion Sanders. Prime time, prime time, prime time at Florida State University. But at Jackson State University, it would have been nice if Deion would have had a succession plan. Because, listen, there are a lot of other talented coaches. There are a lot of other talented former football players. Some who were stars in the league. Some who were just average players that he could have got on the staff and said, hey, man, listen, some younger cats, some younger brothers. Said, listen, man, eventually, if I win, some of the bigger schools just got more money. They're going to offer me a job if I take it, but I want to really leave Jackson State in a good place. So I want to have a succession plan. So here's a chance for some of you young brothers who can kind of learn under me while I'm learning. And then if I go ahead and get a job at a big university, some of you all can take over this program here and take it to the next level, keep building the program. That would be me. But that's me. Deion got a right to do what he wants to do, but he also has got, nobody is above criticism, and we all have to be held accountable. Your word, my grandfather taught me, your word is your bond. So, no, he never said he would stay here at Jackson State forever, but he sold these kids. Now that's one thing. He sold these kids on a bill of goods that he wanted to build his program. He wanted to build HBCUs and show that the HBCUs, the historically black colleges and universities, could compete with the big, they call them PWI, primarily white institutions, your University of Alabama's and your Notre Dame's, even Notre Dame was like, but like Clemson here in South Carolina, University of Georgia, University of Southern California, University of Michigan, Ohio State University, those schools, primarily white institutions. Primarily the only black folks is they are playing sports. Primarily. Majority. But Deion was like, we could compete, we can build a program, but they don't have the resources. So this is where my call to all the alumni. So I did a little research. I heard, from what I heard and read, only I think 13 or 14% of all the alumni at Jackson State have or contribute to the university. So that means you got well over 80% of the alumni at Jackson State that don't contribute, that are not donating to the university. And that's not just Jackson State. That's historically black colleges and universities, period. That, the alumni can do a much better job. And even people who didn't go to HBCUs, but who believe in them, who've experienced HBCUs, including myself. We can build, we can, I talked about it yesterday. Why don't we gentrify? Let's go in and remix the hood ourselves. Let's go in and build and invest and buy property and bring small businesses and invite business. Use our connections, our success, our brands, our influence. Don't wait for some white folks to do it. Let's rebuild it and remix it ourselves. And have some affordable housing in there with some market they call market rate. Like, so if you come in and you buy a house for $150,000, you spend $200,000 to renovate it. The value is $400,000. Great, but at the same time, you got, Sister Johnson, this elderly. She's been there, living there forever. No, don't help the sister out. Get some mixed income families in the community. We can do this. We've done it. Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa and so many cities that were neighborhoods. Chicago, even though Bronzeville's coming back, there's so many neighborhoods. Rosewood, here, places in Wilmington, North Carolina. There are so many cities that have thriving middle class, upper middle class black communities with businesses and everything else that were burnt down by a bunch of races 100 years ago. 1919, 1920, Tulsa Race Massacre, 1921, the Red Summer of 1919, all of these race riots all through America. Now, black folks say that was not going to happen. Black folks are not building up neighborhoods. You ain't going to, the Klan, the white nationalists, and y'all make Proud Boys and old peoples. Trust me. No, and I think they know, because what y'all not going to do. Y'all just not going to roll up on no nice black neighborhood and start burning stuff down. You can try. It ain't going to end well for you. I'm just going to keep it 1,000. So you might just want to move on with that foolishness, because that's not going to end well for anybody. Nobody. Trust me on that. But let's build our own institutions. Listen, Deion, yes, he's one of the greatest football players ever. But there are other great football players, and there are other great football players, and some who were not great. The two greatest football coaches that I know, Bill Walsh, to me, still the best, greatest football coach for San Francisco 49er. And Bill Belichick, he's a great coach. I can't deny that. Belichick up in New England, they weren't even good football players. They didn't even play in the NFL. So you can find some talented cats that were average or maybe didn't even play in the NFL that could be great coaches. Go in and build these programs up, but they need money. All of us, black folks, and not just black people. White people that, Hispanic, those that want to support historically black colleges and universities. Anybody can donate to these colleges, because they have great programs. Schools like in North Carolina, AT&T, they got a great engineering program. You got the Meharry Medical School in Nashville. So all these, all these HBCUs are phenomenal. So let's build them up, but we got to invest. We talk the talk, but at the end of the day, money talks. So yeah, Deion was in it for Deion. Anybody that knew Deion weren't surprised. People knew we knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter, as soon as he took the job, he was on the clock. Folks that knew were like, okay, taking bets. How long is he going to be at Jackson State? He stayed 3 years. Some people didn't think he was going to be there 3 years. Some people thought he was going to be gone after 2. Some people said he was only going to be there 1 year. So, but just because Deion Sanders has gone to Boulder, Colorado, Jackson State, still Jackson State. It had dudes played Walter Payton, rest in peace, one of the greatest football players ever. All these historically black colleges and universities, some of the greatest football players ever in the Hall of Fame, a lot of them. Jerry Rice, so many. I'm not even going to try to name all of them that went to historically black colleges and universities. So let's build, I talked about, remixing and building our own communities. We ain't got to wait for other folks to do it. So we can start off. Deion, we love you going, because you ain't going to be in Colorado too long. Trust me. Because as soon as they can fire the head coach of Florida State, you're going down to Florida State, because Deion don't like cold weather. So, yeah, he'll be cool for a minute. And then since Colorado said, well, we don't have the money to pay him yet, but we're going to get it, trust me. Let Deion miss one check. He might be trying to get back to Jackson State. Trust me. Deion is about his money. Prime time is about his money. Like he said, he's coming with in the press conference. He said, I'm bringing my luggage, and it's Louis. So he all about the big name and the brand name. That's Deion. That's who he is. So he ain't doing nothing for free, okay? So Colorado, if them checks don't clear, And if that direct deposit don't hit that account, he'll be out of Colorado. So, hell, he'll be out of Colorado before he even coach a game. I promise you, if that money gets funny. But let Deion do Deion. Let us do us and build our communities, universities, rebuild and remix and gentrify our own neighborhoods. Don't wait around for nobody to do nothing for you. My grandfather said, I'm going to close on these words once again, one of his many pearls of wisdom. You do what you want to do when you want to do it bad enough. So how bad do you want to do it? Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Please subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Tell everybody, or as my man Nelly would say, everybody, tell everybody you know to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. They are bad. As a matter of fact, about 3 weeks ago, I had Mr. Big, a.k.a. Ronald Isley, on the show, him and Ernie Isley. Look, the show is the biggest, the best, the baddest in the business. You don't want to miss it. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up. Allie Jones, I call her the drip director. She is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her out on Instagram. LX.NCL underscores that little dash below. L like Lexi, X like extra, dot N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi underscore. Bruce Gage, also the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check out the Mario Uomo collection and more. Oh man, Bruce is the drip, his fashion, 2 years ahead of everybody else. Check him out on Instagram right now. Miglio D Mario Uomo. That's MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. Next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Groove Master Dre. I see you. Thank you, mother. Thank you. I love you more than life itself. I got love for everybody, each and every one of you. I really do. I love you so much. Thank you for watching me live in real time. Thank you for watching me. If you're not watching me live, just thank you for watching whenever you are watching me. Got nothing but love for you. We'll see you live Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. or whenever you get a chance to sit down and go to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel and check out the Geno Jones Show. We'll see you live Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. And as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. And send Herschel Walker home, Georgia. Send his ass back to wherever he came from.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.